Okay, welcome back to PSO2. We're doing Mining Defense Aelio. You know, gonna be fun. So, this is our first New Genesis video or my first New Genesis video, in quite some time. Yeah, and I've been uploading in probably a bit longer than I wanted to. I do have an excuse this time. School got in the way. Exams are coming up. What you gonna do? So I had to devote more time to that. And as you can see from the levels, this video is quite old. It was recorded all the way back in, I want to say, last November of last year. I think around a bit earlier than that. Point is, it was a while ago. So this is not the old. It's not quite enough to have recorded the old version of Mining Defense, the one with the 6-wave. This is still the 8-wave version, and we do get an S rank. I know there's a level 2 version out now. It's identical. I don't want to bother recording it, so don't ask me to, because I'm not going to. It's exactly the same as this one. You're getting the same content, only the levels are scaled down by 20. So, yeah, this is same S rank as always. So, how did they change this? So, if you haven't seen this quest before, which been a few months, I think you should have, but for those of you who haven't, I will explain how it works. Basically, we got these 3 towers. We collect points with those little blue lights. We can pick up mobile cannons with those yellow spots, which are basically just big rocket launcher dudes that you can carry around. I've never really used them. I've never seen the ability to need to. And the points allow us to deploy shields and heal the towers. And the dudes spawn from up there, and we murder them. That's pretty much it. And there's some bomb guys who basically... The idea is that once, the... Once they get close... Well, actually, once it hits the end of the mission, if you haven't killed them, they'll run up the towers and blow themselves up. Similar to the... I forget the apprentice dudes who did that. I'm just escaping me now. There were some apprentice dudes that did that. Trust me. And, yeah. So this is also before the new PA, so I'm using the old version of the bow. You can see me running around with my Atlas camo. Oh yeah, this is also like right after the jet boots, the bouncer. Is it no? No, because the bouncer came out. No, yeah, this is right after the bouncer came out. Because, the video is so old. As to whether I think this is better or worse than the for Mining Defense version, so it's an improvement in some aspects. It's not. There is no final BS boss like there was with Apprentice, who was the final boss of Mining Defense 4, which I beat that on ultra hard once with barely any health of the towers remaining. So it was kind of a cluster truck. I'm sort of debating whether I want to swear on my channel. Maybe I probably will start doing it eventually because I swear so much outside of it, but for now I'll keep it PG. Yeah, so I guess I'd say it's a marginal improvement. It can be fun if you have a good group. If you don't have a good group, this quest can quickly start. It can get to you, especially with how dumb people can be. But overall, I think it's fine. I don't really have too much of an issue with it. It's all right. It works for what it is. And apparently, I guess I should talk about what's coming next for the channel and for the game in general. For the channel, I've got all the urgent quests I want to record recorded. I have the spring event quest all recorded. I have, the Oh yeah, I have Dustil Vera recorded, I have Renus Vera recorded, and I have Dark Falls recorded. Those are all already recorded. They will be coming out, hopefully, once classes wrap up, which will be by this time next week. All my exams will be done. I won't have to think about them ever again. It'll be wonderful. Once that's all done, I will have much more free time. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I'll have so much time to do stuff. I won't have to be constantly worrying about stupid classes. Ugh. So hopefully the summer will be a lot of fun. We'll have fun. Videos will come out. It'll be great. So that's sort of what's planned there. And if there's no PSO2 videos, I mean, I've been toying with the idea of going back to Rise and finishing up that because it kind of needs to get done at some point, you know? But other than that, for the game what's coming next is, I believe, the mining... Oh yes, Redem Rank 2. Redem Mining, excuse me. That's coming out soon-ish. I don't know the exact date, but I just know that it will be here soon-ish. Sometime imagine probably next month. So I will try and get a good solid run of that recorded. And hopefully that will be very cool. Hopefully it won't suck. Excuse me. But you never know. It could be awful. Who knows? I sure don't. Yeah, and then after that, you're getting the new region, Kvaris. Kvaris? Something like that. I don't know, man. It's one of those weird words. Too many consonants. And so that's coming supposedly... Well, actually, we know it's coming on the 7th of June. Yes, I know these things. I know dates. I'm very smart. Yeah, that's coming out. Hopefully that'll mean a couple more UQs and maybe some other content. So I've been grinding this game pretty hard off screen, which obviously you guys can't see, but I am doing it. So most of what I've been doing is trying to get my equipment all nice and, you know, properly buffed up, augmented, and whatnot, in preparation to do whatchamacallit, for Kvaris. And so I've done pretty much most, if not all, of the content that I really wanted to. Now it's just a matter of farming up the augments and whatnot. And then probably just sort of grinding away and doing other stuff before basically just getting myself ready to grind Kvaris like there's no tomorrow, you know? So, yeah, that's sort of what I've been up to. And yeah, not much else to say, really. This quest is still... It's going to be going on for a while longer. We're only a third of the way through, even though we're technically we've done half the way. The first waves tend to go by pretty quickly, and the last 4 can kind of drag. There's a lot more stuff to murder. But, yeah. So, in summary, more time this summer, hopefully. More stuff coming soon, again, hopefully. Over the next month, I'm probably gonna go ahead and upload all my already recorded videos, plus Aelio. Sorry, excuse me. I keep saying the wrong thing. Redem, whatchamacallit, mining will hopefully be able to sort of fill out the roster, if you will. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was talking about the various other content. So yeah, so I've done both whatchamacallit, Retem and Aelio rank 2 Purple Battle Dia. They're alright for a challenge, but they're not, in terms of like the actual video content, I would say they're kinda you know? It's mostly just, oh, here's an enemy that we fought. Woo. Yeah. Not much interesting there, to be honest, you know? Well, it is sort of nice to be able to say, hey, I S-rank these. In terms of video content, there's not much there. Sort of same with the yellow and the yellow triggers for both regions. They're like, it's like, not much to say about them. They're kind of neat, but again, not really video content. Now Trinitas, I'm sort of conflicted on this one a little bit. It is kind of sort of a longer version of whatchamacallit, Redum. Of the yellow triggers. But there is some more stuff going on there. Although, I suppose I do need to get a little bit better at it first because I tend to die a lot. Like I did get an S rank run done, but much death was involved in that, so it might not be the most amazing thing to put on video. And Kuxa still kicks my butt every time I fight him. I just think he's kind of... I have expressed my, I guess you could say, dislike of the current counter system. I think that the window for when to counter is very ambiguous for a lot of attacks, and it's also... the actual timing is very, very tight. I think it's much too tight with how, again, ambiguous the timing is. So I've emailed the devs because someone did respond to me last time, so I'm hoping that this time I will be able to at least get a response of some kind, and if so, I might talk about it here. But you know, who knows? Who knows? I proposed a couple of fixes, like adding a... because I was sort of surprised to find that I was kind of alone in terms of thinking that the counter system was really just bad. I don't know, man. I think it's kind of not super well designed, but hey, maybe it's just me being an idiot. I don't think so. I think I've experienced it enough to think that it's not amazing, but if I'm alone, then, you know, other people have their dumb system. I'll try and find my enjoyment elsewhere. So one of my proposed solutions is either to lengthen the window on the counter, on when the counter could go off. I figure, you know, that could be a solution. The other proposed solution was to create a new class or a new melee class that didn't really rely on counter super much. I'd say either one would be fine with me. As long as the melee class was fun. If it was crap and like really slow and boring and didn't have much mobility, which is what I wanted in a good melee class, then, you know, I'd have to start poking them for SEGA for fixes. But if it's a fun class, then I don't think I would mind the current system staying, at the very least, mostly the same. You know? But, I guess there's my 2 cents on that issue, for the 5 people who care. But, yeah, so this is one of the other new enemy that they introduced, which is the Distragus. He's got this big old mech, and there's also him in the center. Guess, here's something for me to talk about. He's popped up a couple other places, mostly in one of the towers in Redum, and also at the end of the the purple quest in Aelio. Yes, I know things. Other than that, so in terms of actual moves, he tends to be this sort of fast sort of gunner guy who flips around and shoots people. He can just do some melee attacks as well. He can turn those little guns like blades and whatnot. Yeah, there. See, he's an interesting little enemy. I do kind of like him. He's fun. He's gonna be fun to fight. His mech is also interesting. It's got those 4 gun legs, and once you blow those up, it'll collapse. You can also shoot destroyable missiles, which I think another one spawns on Wave 8, which you'll probably see more of it then. So there you go. Yeah, so that's like the one big new enemy they introduced for this quest, which old news at this point. He's been around for months now, but it's new for my YouTube channel, so I thought I might make mention of it. But yeah, Distragus, yeah, he's all right. They also introduced a couple other things with this one that I didn't really mention. The new he has Distragus has his own augments that they introduced. They also introduced the Evil Coat series of weapons, which are the purple guns. Oh, excuse me. I'm tired, I guess. I guess I'd say that the Evil Coat weapons, I actually used those for a while. They're pretty. They were top tier when they came out, but now they're kind of not that great. They can do some of the end game stuff, but you're better off trying to find some of the new 5-star weapons. So there you go. There's my 2 cents on that. I've also been accruing a collection of PS2 volumes, like actual CDs. So that's kind of cool, I guess. I now have all of them with the, well, I have most of them. I'm missing 2, 5, 6, and 10. So, you know, they're sort of on my list to acquire, hopefully sometime in the near future. That'd be nice to have the full set. I'm also thinking of trying to pick up the, the vocal collection as well, which has a lot of other songs that I would really like to hear. So, you know, it's always fun. I've been toying with the idea of talking about the music of PS2, like the classic version, for a while now, but I've never really gotten around to it. Same with the doing the story, which I think I mentioned before. I know that I think it's Zeomatic, something like that. Zeo, what he calls himself. But if you look up Zeomatic, whatever, like PSO2 lore, or just PSO2 lore in general, you'll probably find his channel pretty quickly. I know he's also done some lore videos, and I know he's also done some, like story summary videos, but honestly, I think his videos are like a good introduction, but I don't think he goes into as much detail as I would like. And I've also learned that there are these big PSO2 lore books called the Material books. There's one for each episode, and now I am interested in picking those up, assuming I can find them in English. That would be very, very nice to try and go ahead and pick those up. Be very cool to have those as well. So I've got some things on my purchasing list, what I'm saying, so watch my videos, please. I would like monetization enabled. It'd be nice to have more than one source of revenue, you know. So one can dream. It's unlikely, but hey, I'm thinking about it at least. And other than that, that's sort of those are sort of, I guess, you could say those are sort of video ideas I've played around with, but haven't really dived too deeply into. There definitely take a lot more effort than my standard kind of content, where I just sort of talk over gameplay footage about whatever I think about. Really, these videos don't take, I won't pretend like these videos take like an insane amount of effort to make. They're pretty low effort, though it does kind of reflect the amount of time I have. I'm often doing other things, at the same time, so a lot of other things. So, it is what it is. I can only dedicate so much time to this without I can only justify dedicating so much time to this, especially when it doesn't produce like an insane ROI or return on investment for the unfinancially acquainted. Alright, final wave. I think this is the wave where they spawn good old Nex Aelio in all his dragon glory. Well, not Nextera though. That'd be kind of ridiculous because, actually, why would they spawn Nextera? Why did I even think they? Who knows? It's late and my brain is all fuzzy. So, yeah. Again, more of the same, more lots of enemies, and they dump a new Distragus at you at the end, so not much to say. But yeah, that's, again, those sort of those back a couple minutes ago are video ideas that I've thinking about but haven't really fully dived into yet. I think, actually, no, I did actually have like a decently well-written script for the, whatchamacallit. You can see someone's pulled out one of the cannons, and there's the camera flying through the floor. Or was, actually. Hopefully we'll get a better look at what that looks like. Oh, it's my good friend, Futgar Sharpeye, aka the biggest cast in the land. It's going to be a bit hard to see the cannon on him. I wouldn't know. I might pull out one just for kicks later on. So, who knows. But yeah, as I was saying, as I keep getting distracted, those are sort of some video ideas that I had. Again, I also had at least part of a script written up for, whatchamacallit, the story mode, but I just never really got around to... Well, I guess not really. All I did just drop it and never really come back to it. It's also that, it wasn't really that good. I think there's a lot of stuff I could go back and sort of try and flesh things out with, do a bit more talking, thinking about stuff, and do a better job sort of summarizing the main plot. Yeah, that's sort of a thing that I started it, but I just never really finished it, and the current version I have I'm not really happy with, so I definitely want to go back and change many things. So, who knows if I'll ever get back to that, but I'd say it's not super likely at the moment. I'd say the music thing is more likely, seeing that Zio's videos, while they're very rushed, I'd say they don't really tell the full story. Honestly, it's not as well as I'd like. They are serviceable, and the PSO2 story is not like that inaccessible, although there are some there are some barriers. In order to get the true ending for episode 6, and I think for episode 5 is in order to finish episode 5. So in order to finish episode 5, you have to have beaten any version of Dark Falls Persona, the urgent quest, not the trigger quest. So that can be annoying to try and track down, because it doesn't always come up that often. So that can be frustrating to try and figure out. And also you have to S rank the quest, the one quest, the last quest before the final boss of the story mode, aka Darkfall Primordial Darkness. Which, if you're decent enough at the game and you're at least decently well leveled, then you should be okay, but it is still something you have to do. So, I guess the story's not super inaccessible, but, There's definitely not as many people going back and playing the old game as I would have hoped, because I actually did go back and play it somewhat recently, and man, it's hard. It's kind of weird feeling nostalgia for something I was doing like only about 6 months ago. Really, it's a really weird feeling. I do hope that they're that they start trying to recreate a lot of that feeling with the base game, because man, that'd be nice. Be very nice. And there we go. That is actually my first S rank of this quest, so that's cool. Well, anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed my inane ramblings over the last 20 odd minutes. Hopefully this will be the first video in a number, and I will be able to provide you with more content as the weeks go by. But until the next video, I will be, I will be seeing you next video. Peace.